Information that if she knew, you'd be left with a millionaire. Information that if she knew, you'd be left with a millionaire. John Griffith Cheney, London 1, January 12, 1876, November 22, 1916 2345, was an American novelist, journalist and social activist. A pioneer of commercial fiction and American magazines, he was one of the first American authors to become an international celebrity and earn a large fortune from writing. Citation needed, he was also an innovator in the genre that would later become known as London. In 1903, born John Griffith Cheney, January 12, 1876, San Francisco, California, U.S. Died November 22, 1916, aged 40, Glen Ellen, California, U.S. Occupation: novelist, journalist, short story writer, essayist, literary movement, realism, naturalism. Notable works: The Call of the Wild, White Fang, Spouse Elizabeth Mattern, M. 1900, Division 1904, Charmian and Kitter, Gem. 1905, Children, Joan London, Bessie London. London was part of the radical literary group The Crowd in San Francisco and a passionate advocate of unionization, workers' rights, socialism, and eugenics. 7-8. He wrote several works dealing with these topics, such as his dystopian novel The Iron Heel, his non-fiction expose The People of the Abyss, War of the Classes, and Before Adam. His most famous works include The Call of the Wild and White Fang, both set in the Klondike Gold Rush, as well as the short stories To Build a Fire, An Odyssey of the North, and Love of Life. He also wrote about the South Pacific in stories such as The Pearls of Parley, and The Jack London was born January 12, 1876. 9. His mother, Flora Wellman, was the fifth and youngest child of Pennsylvania canal builder Marshall Wellman and his first wife, Eleanor Garrett Jones. Marshall Wellman was descended from Thomas Wellman, an early Puritan settler in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. 10. Flora left Ohio and moved to the Pacific Coast when her father remarried after her mother died. In San Francisco, Flora worked as a music teacher and spiritualist, claiming to channel the spirit of a Sauk chief, Black Hawk. 11. Clarification needed. Biographer Clarice Stas and others believe London's father was astrologer William Cheney. 12. Flora Wellman was living with Cheney in San Francisco when she became pregnant. Whether Wellman and Cheney were legally married is unknown. Stas notes that in his memoirs, Cheney refers to London's mother Flora Wellman as having been his wife. He also cites an advertisement in which Flora called herself Florence Wellman Cheney. According to Flora Wellman's account, as recorded in the San Francisco Chronicle of June 4, 1875, Cheney demanded that she have an abortion. When she refused, he disclaimed responsibility for the child. In desperation, she shot herself. She was not seriously wounded, but she was temporarily deranged. After giving birth, Flora sent the baby for wet nursing to Virginia. Jenny Prentice, a formerly enslaved African-American woman and a neighbor. Prentice was an important maternal figure throughout London's life, and he would later refer to her as his primary source of love and affection as a child. 14. Late in 1876, Flora Wellman married John London, a partially disabled Civil War veteran, and brought her baby John, later known as Jack, to live with the newly married couple. The family moved around the San Francisco Bay Area before settling in Oakland, where London completed public grade school. The Prentice family moved with the Londons, and remained a stable source of care for the young Jack. 14. In 1897, when he was 21 and a student at the University of California, Berkeley, London searched for and read the newspaper accounts of his mother's suicide attempt and the name of his biological father. He wrote to William Cheney, then living in Chicago. Cheney responded that he could not be London's father because he was impotent. He casually asserted that London's mother had relations with other men and averred that she had slandered him when she said he insisted on an abortion. Cheney concluded by saying that he was more to be pitied than London. 15. London was devastated by his father's letter. In the months following, he quit school at Berkeley and went to the Klondike during the gold rush boom.